Greetings world. We are Anonymous. Our continued attack with the evidence on Lee County, Florida now leads us to the fraud by the Lee County Tax Appraiser and Tax Collector's Office and the Florida State Hotel Motel Tax Tourist Department. In 2005, Enzo Vincenzi bought the Sabal Park Inn from Herman Blanchette, who is now a real estate broker with Birchwood Realty in Cape Coral, Florida, with heavy ties in the community. Blanchette hosted many law enforcement parties out on the property over the years. Enzo put a down payment of $280,000, with a balloon payment due in 1 year of $70,000. Enzo contacted Blanchette within 3 months after the purchase to pay him a certified check of $47,000 of the $70,000 due. Blanchette did everything he could to avoid taking this payment from Enzo Vincenzi. The ultimate goal was to foreclose on him within a year, because Blanchette knowingly lied on his profit-loss statements to the IRS. There were illegal scams running out of the Sabal Park Inn when Blanchette owned this property in North Fort Myers, Florida. It took nearly 3 months to get him to take this money from Vincenzi. Enzo's father simply paid the full balance off of $200,000 within the year to avoid any more complications over this matter. Something seemed very shady from the start of this transaction. Both Blanchette and the Florida State Hotel Tax Tourist Department were trying to foreclose. They did not believe the Vincenzi family would invest any more of their money and they would default on the loan. This disrupted the game plan. Enzo was conned out of this hotel by Miriam Pachko with the help of another real estate broker, Rosa Blanca Sachetaras, and her husband John. The Sachetaras family are now alleged to be selling Organa Gold, a coffee scam, importing it into the United States. Blanca and John Sachetaras preside in Texas at this time. It is believed that Enzo Vincenzi was intentionally poisoned by Pachko to help initiate this ongoing scam of the organized scheme to defraud. There were and are high-powered public officials taking payoffs, and the theft of this hotel with the help of the criminal judge Shira Winesett lies the trail. Blanca Sachetaras attempted to help get Miriam Pachko an illegal mortgage on the Sabal Park Inn, and the deed was still in Enzo's name. They held no legal ownership of any kind. Attorney Thomas Heidkamp engaged in a conspiracy to transfer the deed into Miriam Pachko's name with no consideration or money involved. It is important to know that Heidkamp went to the same law school as former judge Shira Winesett, who was the main criminal in this illegal activity. Enzo's father has the assignment of mortgage on this property until this very day. Heidkamp was given a slap on the wrist by the Florida bar for this conspiracy. Due to the mortgage company calling Enzo Vincenzi's father, they would not give the mortgage to Pachko. She then was given a mortgage from Key Mortgage Brokers, in which Atlas Southwest Title Company shared an office together. Key Mortgage and Atlas Title Company's office was right next door to Judge Shira Winesett's husband's attorney firm. Richard Winesett, attorney at law, have no shame. Anonymous has the evidence that this was no error. Pachko was given a $250,000 mortgage on a property that was not even hers. These funds were dispersed inside the Lee County, Florida government. Enzo went through 6 attorneys before Judge Joseph C. Fuller was forced to give this property back after being the 3rd judge to oversee it. Judge Shira Winesett resigned the month prior to Judge Fuller giving him the property in September of 2013. Enzo had already won a jury trial and in front of Judge Shira Winesett with the jury in disbelief. Pachko was supposed to pay him $37,000 and return his hotel. Judge Shira Winesett would not give Enzo a hearing to give him his property back. Pachko was running an EBT scam with lines of people outside the convenience store she set up in Enzo's home and business. She would buy EBT cards for less than 50 cents on the dollar, sell single cigarettes, and with a beer sign on the window that is still up at the Sabal Park Inn. Drugs and prostitution is the key. Human trafficking and the drug cartel. Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott, also dubbed the Kingpin by the FBI, illegally arrested Enzo to keep him from showing up to a hearing to help initiate the criminal organization in Lee County, Florida. Anonymous now calls on the IRS. This scheme to defraud has been approved by numerous public officials in Lee County, Florida. Once Enzo was given his property back destroyed after 5 years, Miriam Pachko was attempting to put a hit out on Enzo. This was recorded by the Kingpin's detectives for criminal charges and conspiracy to commit murder. Lee County, Florida Sheriff however could not make any arrest on Pachko because she was running illegal operations for her and putting money in the hands of politicians and judges. Larry Hart is the Lee County tax collector that has defrauded the IRS. Larry Hart was the first black police chief in Fort Myers, Florida in 1979. A very high position for a black man in the Deep South in 1979. Fort Myers corruption was controlled and formed by the first state attorney Joseph P. D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro not only controlled Lee County but also Charolette, Hendry, Collier and Glades County. The Glades County Sheriff's Department is already under investigation over illegal operations with the drug cartel. The investigation was opened up with the help of the Miami Herald. The state attorney Stephen B. Russell is only the second in the history of the corruption. He worked side by side with D'Alessandro for many years and also graduated from Stetson University, where many of this clan is formed. The kingpin Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott is the cousin of D'Alessandro, and has his share of mobsters on his department that will do his dirty deals for him. Enzo Vincenzi was forced to pay property and businesses taxes on the Sabal Park Inn for 2012. All court dates were a charade. Lee County tax collector Larry Hart is highly aware and involved in these criminal acts. Tim Parks, the tax auditor of the Hotel Motel Tax Tourist Department, fraudulently put a $37,000 lien on the Sabal Park Inn, the same amount Enzo won in his jury trial. It was stated to Enzo by his attorney that Judge Shira Weinsit said, he will never get this hotel back. The judicial conspiracy, led by the state attorney Stephen B. Russell with help of the control by the kingpin Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott, has been exposed to all federal sources. The IRS has the evidence and Anonymous does not believe Lee County, Florida will go without severe penalty. The Hillary Clinton scandal and former President Obama's Office of the Department of Justice proves the FBI has been compromised. The corruption in Lee County, Florida is deep-rooted. The money controls the moves of top officials in the state capital of Tallahassee. Anonymous calls on the IRS and the newly formed Department of Justice to no longer protect Florida's illegal activity. Anonymous threats to expose Donald Trump's sexual scandals are nothing compared to the constitutional violations condoned by the previous administration. National security was put in danger by Hillary Clinton. Federal authorities have been controlled for several years in South Florida. Anonymous targets the kingpin once again. The hit placed on Enzo Vincenzi was recorded by Lee County Sheriff's Office detectives. Fraud by the Lee County Tax Collector's Office calls for IRS intervention. We are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.